And son of a bitch, my microphone was actually turned off. Oh god, that sucks. That really sucks. That really, really fucking sucks. Oh my god. Okay. Hello, Oe, Weebo, Eternal Magician, Dexter. Sorry for the late start, you guys. In addition to this stupid microphone issue, which I wish I could just erase the first 2 minutes of this video, my son just would not go to sleep. Oh my god. I am so sorry, you guys. Figures. It's freaking microphone. I really hope you guys can hear what I'm saying right now. And, anyway, last time, I thought the war was going to start at the beginning of the video, but nope. Random ass mad scientist from Vier group had, by the way, you all can hear me now, right? He was like, "Oh, it's a me, Mario. I'm going to fuck up the world's nanomachines and the world will end. Ho-ho!" And he was just like, and so, oh my god, so the world was going to be fucked up in that way. So at first I thought, oh wow, there is actually going to be a war. They have to deal with this disaster here and figure out how they can help out. But nope. Rathabil's brother gets blown up by like a little fly bomb thing, and the three kings are like, "Oh no, well, the environment is fucking up and we have no idea how this has happened." I guess they're completely unaware of what Vier group is doing. It's like, so you know what? Let's just have everyone go to war anyway. Let's make sure the world is extra dead. Extra dead. And like... So now, the Gauntlet Knights face absolutely insurmountable odds. And judging by the track record of the very first chapter of a When They Cry series, I don't know how well they're going to make out with this. So, let's see. The odds are not in their favor, I will say that much. Alright, let's get back into it. At that moment, the world was covered in a thick fog. Looking down on it from the skies, it was as though the city had been covered with and swallowed by dust. A final all-out war, known as the December 25th, 24 o'clock truce, was spreading throughout the contested areas around the world. However, the people of the world were less worried about the game of musical chairs and more concerned by this extreme atmospheric pollution. Furthermore, the uniformity of weather that all countries had once enjoyed was now being lost. A nice little recap here. Rapid cooling was occurring in nations close to the poles. Because heating was used excessively during this time, a large amount of spiridium steam was being released. This further accelerated the pollution and cooling in a vicious cycle. The International AMS Management Committee was currently focusing all its efforts on reducing the rate of cooling, and they said they expected to release environmental AMS whose modifications were complete sometimes over the next few days. If they succeeded, the world's average temperature would apparently recover to about 10 degrees C. However, even so, countries close to the poles would be hit by a cold wave that would approach the freezing point. Jeez, damn. Such cold was completely unknown to the people of the A3W era. They knew that such dramatic weather had existed as recently as the V3W era, and that humanity had managed to get by somehow. However, A3W humanity had lived for so long in an ideal period of 15 degrees C to 25 degrees C weather. Having the temperature go sub-zero would be an unimaginable hell. The most commonly used search terms were now filled with things related to protecting against the cold. However, because there had been no need for previously for need for cold weather outfits outside of freezers or bases in Antarctica. Such supply was utterly unable to keep up with demand. The government was recommending that you make simple cold weather clothing using various household items. Oh my god. It's enough to make you laugh. The term White Christmas originally meant a Christmas where you had snow on the ground, right? And now people are freaking out just 'cause it's snowing on Christmas. Yeah, that's hilarious. Did you know? If you fly through the skies unaided like this, the wind chill temperature can apparently get below 50 degrees C, minus 50. Yeah, I guess you're right. This is how the world's supposed to be. We're being protected by more than just our rejection shields, huh? Yeah. Whether it's temperature, air pressure, humidity, or even gravity and acceleration. We might think we're just flying through the sky, but we're ignoring an awful lot of the world's laws in doing so. It makes you wonder how people ever got by in the B3W world without the convenience of 8MS. They probably just figured that's how things were and didn't think about it at all. After all, luxury is something that's easy to get used to. Right now, humanity is panicking because various kinds of 8MS are going crazy. But this is actually the norm for this planet. If humanity can't even handle this planet when it's being normal, do we really have any right to call it our home? Seriously, the fact that they're still making us fight wars during this apocalyptic situation is just insane. Still, I just can't get used to this intense ammonia smell. Am I just that used to the stench reduction 8MS? Or did B3W humanity walk around with their noses plugged? Rumor has it that the smell was caused by spiridium steam. There is no stench reduction 8MS in cities that aren't prosperous. So they were always like this. For me, it's a nostalgic smell that reminds me of the city I grew up in. Still, I won't deny that it's unpleasant. Oh my god, that's a rare expression on Gunhild's face. And lately, what, are they pimples? I've been getting these annoying rashes. Me too. I've been hiding them with my bangs, but I'm getting them on my forehead and it's seriously uncool. Some of the young trainees have been saying that too. I wonder what's going on. Are they having like a disease or something among the Gauntlet Knights? I wonder if that's that disease that they were talking about. I've never had to deal with stuff like that. So why is it happening now? And so suddenly? If it was just me, I'd figure it was a coincidence. But it's kind of creepy when it's happening to everyone else too. Don't tell me this connected to that rumor about how absorbing too much spiridium steam make toxins build up in your body and leads to rashes? Wait, seriously? Does that mean the rashes on my forehead are just gonna get worse? That's no joke! And the world's environment is changing rapidly after all. It wouldn't be strange if it's having odd effects on the human body. Wait, what's that? This wasn't the front lines. Even though it shouldn't have been possible, they heard an explosion. They couldn't pick out details because of the horrible fog, but they'd seen several piercing flashes that looked like they could have been from explosions. And a few moments later, they heard explosive sounds. This is the command center, Poyo! Several non-friendly flying objects are being observed in your vicinity, Poyo! Currently flying aerial augmented infantry squads have been warned, Poyo! An enemy attack? Don't tell me.
Activating AMS radar. Activating Reaper's Eye. War cats, prepare for unexpected attacks.
Warcat, can you see any flames from explosions at 9 o'clock from your current position?
The fog.
God. That voice. I'm gonna turn that down because that voice is really making it hard to... I'll turn that down for you guys too. Because I don't know how loud it is for you guys, but for me, that's pretty loud and it's kind of interfering. I can't hardly hear myself think here.
The fog is almost completely blocking our field of vision, but we witnessed something that appeared to be an explosion. Explosions are continuing to occur sporadically.
Currently, large numbers of allied air defense drones have become uncontrollable, and they're indiscriminately attacking the city. The cause is unknown. Oh boy.
Wait. Are you kidding me? Not one or two drones, but a lot of them? How?
Some Gauntlet Knights had the ability to hack enemy drones. In the AOU, Chloe was particularly talented at this. I gotta say, they've been painting so much suspicion on Chloe. It almost feels like misdirection. At this point, I'm kind of suspecting Chloe less, just because of the fact that they've been piling so much suspicion on her. In the AOU, Chloe was particularly talented at this. By using the high P3 levels that were unique to Gauntlet Knights, they could break through the drone security incredibly fast using brute force and gain command authority. However, if they want to hack a large number of drones at once, they'd have to break through the security of the military AI itself. Naturally, military AI security was incredibly strong. Even relying on a supercomputer would take several centuries to break through. So under normal circumstances, sealing control from a large number of drones at once would be unthinkable.
But that's what's happening right now before our eyes! Doubting it won't get us anywhere.
I think the most reasonable explanation is that someone with access privileges to the military AI did this.
This is just horrible! The world's about to freeze, we're still fighting a war, and now even we got a spy in the command center! This is Warcat. We've arrived on the scene. From what we can tell here, there are about 40 air defense drones firing indiscriminately into the city.
Now removing friendly tagging from all air defense drones taking hostile action. The command center has ordered that all opposing drones be shot down. In the background of the operator's voice, the panicked voices of many other operators could be heard. I didn't want to think about it, but it sounds like this isn't only happening here. Same here. A large-scale hacking of attack drones is taking place.
Sujatha, are you having drone problems in the COU too?
Mio? Why? Oh, wrong chat. Oh my god. Are you serious, Sujatha? Forgot you heard that.
We're currently working to suppress an uprising of hacked air defense drones that occurred in AOU Japan. Is the same thing happening in the COU?
Woo, there's some good news. I thought that just the COU drones are being pieces of junk, so I'm glad to hear that we've got someone to share the experience with. Woo! Entry and transmission. Don't say any more than you need to.
Receiving a message from the Air Defense Command Center. All area augmented infantry units have been given permission to intercept their discussion.
Roger that. Activating Reaper's Eye. We're in the middle of a city, so attack with care. The fact that everyone's indoors because of the pollution was a blessing in disguise.
It's as you heard, Mio. We're busy at the moment. I'm sure you are too, right? Then we both need to do the same thing. No kidding. But if that's true, isn't it possible this is happening on a massive scale?
I'm gonna turn the music back up so you guys could hear it better. Tell me if it's too loud.
Correct. And what we know, 75 indiscriminate attacks have been carried out by swarms of rogue drones over COU India alone.
79 attacks? Just in India?
Stop chatting with people from other factions during combat! End transmission!
Hang in there, Rookie. Hang in there. Even though I'm the only one who got yelled at when Sujata was chatting too.
Mio, I just got an email from Kizuna, a friend of mine in Africa. It looks like drone rebellions are taking place here and there in the ACR as well. Don't tell me. It's happening in the ABN and Lato too?
Bingo! People on the internet all over the world are acting like someone poked a beehive. Same goes for ABN and Lato. They're seeing lots of drone swarms are no longer under control. It's getting cold. The atmosphere is dirty and starting to sink. And everyone's ready to make a grab for land before the truce. And now we're even getting pimples and swarms of drones are rebelling.
Just perfect. Nothing would surprise me now.
Don't say that, Mio!
Could that world reset cult really be behind this? If only they crushed their own skulls before trying to crush the world, it'd be win-win for everyone. Wonder why they're not doing that.
Win? You're right.
Oh, Rookie, what are you doing?
Oh, she liked that one.
Woo!
Woo! That really is true, isn't it? Just take everyone who wants a war, throw them into a coliseum, and let them fight as much as they like. Oh, here's her personality. If they want to destroy the world, let them destroy their own heads first. If they want to see a war, let them watch war movies as much as they like. That's so true. That's so right. That's hilarious.
Has Rukshana always laughed this much? When Ruki lets loose, she can be pretty freaky. When she suddenly finds something funny, she transforms.
Hey, Andri, Rukshana! I told you to cut the chatter during combat!
Karis, we're still fighting fine, aren't we? Okay, here you go. Take care of Terminal Gardens for these cluster missiles to mess up munitions.
Whoa! Don't just suddenly have me 24 missiles?
That was fun. Thanks, Pio. Now, we'll focus on fighting too.
Sure. Take care.
I can't handle 24 all of a sudden like that!
Hang in there, Rookie. Even though Sujata's such an adorable klutz, hang in there.
Hello, Nagels. Welcome to the stream.
I want...
Oh my god, you're Rena! Oh my god, she's Rena! Oh my god! Oh my god! You want to open Ciconia to her! Oh my god! You're Rena's reincarnation! Oh my god, Rookie! Oh my god, it's Rena, you guys! She's back!
I want to take that klutz and start acting tough and pat her and squeeze her and shower with kisses on my Ciconia!
Who are you calling a klutz? Sorry, I can't please take some of these missiles, even just 5 or 6 of them!
Our cat leader is
Laruka.
Have some more missiles.
Sounds like you're pretty busy at the moment. Good luck over there.
We need to focus too. Even during this, I'm so glad we got that moment because Suparna rarely ever gets screen time. And they're really funny, actually. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was really lovely that we got that moment. Even in such a serious time in the story. Even during this exchange with Suparna, several messages from other members of the Order of the Public Bath arrived. They were all the same. In places all over the world, whole swarms of attack drones have become uncontrollable and have started attacking everything around them. If they were only air defense drones, they wouldn't have been too heavily armed, and the damage would have been relatively light. However, indiscriminate assaults by attack drones fully equipped for the front lines were causing considerable destruction. Reaper's Eye has locked on to 64 non-friendly drones. They're flying above the main road. Please deal with them carefully.
Got it. Let's go, Jaden! Yeah! Let's go, partner!
Damn, this is an exciting part in the story here.
My. I've always wanted to go to the Later Resort, but this just ruins it.
The once beautiful Later Resort looked as though it had been thrown into a war zone. There were overturned beach umbrellas, and alongside the pool lay scattered cocktail glasses that had been knocked over and sandals that had been taken off. Everyone has taken refuge in government-provided air raid shelters, so the city was completely empty. In this era, Cellcoms could guide individual people to shelter, so even tourists weren't left behind.
Still, I'd expect no less from the prosperous Lato. There's not a single person taking advantage of the crisis to steal things. Not even big enough to drop wallet.
Though it seems Lato may have been too prosperous. Considering that they left their air defense in the hands of drones, leading to this. Is it really alright just to stand around here? We should take her to a shelter quick, right? Tojiro was casually reclining in a deck chair next to the pool of a hotel wrapped in the flames of war. Even though swarms of rogue drones were flying low above the city, continuing their destruction. Originally, the plan had been to take him to the airport, but it looked like that flight would be cancelled for the foreseeable future.
There's no need to be impatient. Calm down and check the nature of the damage around you. They aren't attacking indiscriminately and at random. They're simply distributing the damage evenly and extremely efficiently.
You're right! The drone attack isn't aimed at a specific target. It's supposed to be focused on efficiently damaging a large area. What do you mean? Obviously, though attacking more often than necessary to achieve a goal may look flashy, it's just a waste of ammunition. However, on the battlefield, it's sometimes necessary to overly concentrate your attacks to make sure you destroy a target. In this era of pinpoint attacks, the way these drones were attacking all over the place may have seemed random and indiscriminate. However, if one checked the nature of the surrounding destruction, as Tojiro had suggested, it became possible to notice a clear purpose behind these attacks.
What these drones are after is the destruction of the city itself. This isn't the sort of stingy attack that the humans would use, aiming for a single vital establishment with pinpoint accuracy.
They're trying to cause equal destruction throughout the whole city. And you're saying that they're doing that efficiently, from the perspective of machine-like methodicalness. The drones were large in number, but it wasn't as though each individual one had a large amount of weaponry. So, every shot they fired was being used to cause destruction with maximum efficiency, according to the situation. If they had tried to attack vital establishments, the defenses there would be strong, and such places would have run worst-case scenario simulations to deal with situations like these. That made them surprisingly undesirable as targets. So, the drones were targeting the city itself instead. When attacking the roads, it was more efficient for them to aim at multi-level crossings. By shooting at the weak points of structures, they could cause more efficient destruction as the structures collapsed. If they had lightly raked over luxury establishments lined with beautiful glass using machine guns, the shower of fallen glass shards would cause unimaginable damage. However, the most efficient form of destruction is fire. If they'd managed to start a large-scale fire in the city, they'd be able to cause massive damage without using up ammunition. The drones actively sought out flammable targets, trying to start and spread flames. They also attacked the firefighting facilities that would probably be used to put those fires out.
Haven't you ever thought about it? Humanity has focused its defenses on vital establishments, because they tend to be targets of attacks. I'm sure that even during all this, Ceradium conversion facilities and AMS factories are being protected. However, everywhere else is lax, even though it's the people who really ought to be protected.
In the A3W world, by the way, please tell me if the music is too loud or too soft. Even when people saw world wars, they were somehow disconnected from it. They believed that flashy wars would always take place on the other side of the television. All military collisions took place within the walls of peace. Shrapnel from explosions would never come flying at you from your TV screen. Highly advanced weapon guidance technology played a big role in this. This was an era where you could launch pinpoint attacks against vital establishments right in the middle of a city and still cause almost no damage to those who lived there. Even when world wars took place, there would be somewhat ho-hum about it, assuming that the enemy wouldn't attack them if they weren't soldiers. Damn, did I pick the right accent for Tojido or what? Especially since this is his theme.
In the first place, more non-combatants died than soldiers during war. Thinking that nothing on this side of the TV screen will be affected is hopelessly naive. Today, humanity is remembering that obvious fact.
At the moment, they heard a set of repeated thunderous explosions, as if this was a huge finale to a fireworks show. When they looked at the sky in that direction, they saw countless flaming red balls drawing a parabola through the sky. It was as though several curves of red light had been drawn there, beautifully extending like the branches of a fantastical weeping willow.
That one hit hard. Wrote those MLRS bombardments launched by heavy drones, trump card of coastal defense operations. They specialize in damage over a large area, so it's perfect for attacking an entire city. Sorry to say it, but you won't be able to see that beautiful Rio de Janeiro ever again, except as photos on the internet.
Those ferocious series of thunderclaps occurred several more times after that. It seemed that the other areas were also receiving MLRS bombardments. Major, even so, isn't it about time we took shelter?
It'll be fine. After all, I'm being protected by two lovely girl carriers with the Aegis-equipped ships in tow. And besides, this area won't be attacked again.
How can you know that?
Judging by the state of the damage, you can tell the drones tend to quantify the damage done to each section, and they're distributing it evenly. Furthermore, if looked at the damage in areas where the attacks have stopped, measuring it with the valuation methods used by the International Disaster Agency, you'll find that they equal each other within an area of just 5%. This leads us to the conclusion that those areas have already reached the levels of damage the drones are aiming for, so it's unlikely they'll be attacked again. Well, that doesn't mean they're 100% safe though. And now we know how a cocktail tastes when surrounded by the flames of war, huh?
As usual, you never cease to surprise, Major. Mayor Carmen thought. Through? This Major did seem to be just a James Bond wannabe, trying to seem relaxed even in a crazy situation like this. But this was no movie. The reality occurring right now would probably lead to large numbers of casualties, both from the attack and the subsequent chaos. And yet, he was relaxing this much. There are plenty of naive people who can relax while watching war through their television. However, the madness of someone who can relax when there's no TV separating them from the carnage goes far beyond the comprehensible. Valentina might be a bit attracted to his adult composure, so that defies common sense, but... oh my god! That's pretty funny! I'm scared, Tina. This Major called Mitake Tojiro isn't a naive person watching war through a TV. Are we sure he isn't something that's watching our world through a TV? Shades of Umineko. Interesting. Oh, wow, Mark Carmen. You know who's read previous when they cries are gonna go all here. And aren't you? Jeez. Something that, from our perspective, isn't human?
Mew.
Oh, Mio, this person truly is your real father, right? Your father is so... I've come to think of it, Major. Don't people in your neck of the woods call you a prophet or something? They say you always know what will happen in the future, and that you make clever use of that information to rake in the cash. In that case, did you prophesize this day as well?
There are some things, you know, but you can't do anything about it. But that you can't do anything about, right? This is one of those.
Let me rephrase that. Do you know, Major, will these terrible things that come like natural disasters continue? Who on earth is plotting such terrifying things? What are they after?
You know, my fees are really high. Still, okay. I might as well give these two beautiful escorts a tip.
Oh wow, they're really gonna show it? Interesting. Okay, let's see what the full extent of his knowledge is.
First, let's start with your question. Mara, was it?
Yes. Feel free to call me whatever you like.
You want to know who was plotting such terrifying things, right? If you ask me who, that's a bit hard to answer. But there's no doubt that this is occurring as a result of human intent.
You mean the World Reset cult?
Well, let's call it that for now. That's as much as a human's capable of understanding.
Those people are insane! They're making a mess of the world! If they hate the world that much, why don't they just hang themselves?
They're probably trying to play God, destroying humanity and culture so they can guide it down the right path the next time around. It's a disease that every VIP gets at least once, when they're caught by the belief that they're one of the chosen ones. Major, do you know the mastermind behind this conspiracy?
Answer to that is a bit expensive. If you ever sculpt me again, I'll think about it. Next, Tina, was it?
Yes, Major.
Your question was whether these terrible things will continue, right?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how far their plan has proceeded yet. Even I don't know the full details of it. So it's hard for me to give you a simple answer. Oh, but I can tell you one thing.
What's that?
What's happening all over the world right now is no natural disaster. They're all problems that were created by humans, and they can all be dealt with by human hands.
This is literally the fucking opposite of Higurashi and Umineko so far. Like, this is absolutely fascinating. We're approaching the end of the story, and we have a character who's extremely knowledgeable telling us this right at the fucking beginning of the story, and like, we have zero reason not to believe him either, because we've been seeing all the players, the conspirators, in motion from multiple angles, from Vier group and from the Three Kings. So I'm trying to figure out now, like, why is Ryukishi saying what he's saying right here, right now? Because this is normally the point in When They Cry, when Ryukishi would be telling us the exact fucking opposite of what Chojiro is saying right now, and I am just trying to figure out what is going on. You have a point there. Considering that you're relaxing by a pool, it would seem the danger isn't that bad after all.
All these natural disasters that can be brought by human hands are like rain ceremonies.
Rain ceremonies? You mean like rituals to summon rain?
That's right. And therefore the purpose of summoning actual natural phenomena.
You're saying that, at this decisive moment when the world may or may not be destroyed, a real natural disaster might occur? One to make all the dangers so far seem trivial. And that bringing this about is the goal of the mastermind behind this incident.
When chess is played with this planet as a stage, so much happens in darkness, and it isn't even clear whether your opponent is a seed or not.
Chess. And here more Umineko references here to chess.
In chess, the fact that the pieces are all laid out in their initial positions tells you nothing about when the game will start. So they made the first move, moved the pawn in front of the king to e4. Now the board situation has changed. In other words, it means you're already seated and have made the first move.
Well, Ryukishi, we know that's slightly untrue, because there's that whole, we have to figure out who the spy is.
Partly as a declaration of war, partly as a signal that the game has begun, and partly as a signal to sign to your opponent that you want them to respond. If this message reaches your opponent, they'll likely realize that you want to play chess, and they'll take the seats. Then one of the black pawns moved to c5. Now the first person is really excited. After all, their opponent has noticed their intent to play chess, has taken the seat, and has even responded. So they responded with nf3. Yes, this is where the knights come into play. Their opponent would probably counter with d6 or e6. Well, that's a matter of personal taste. Longtime players treat the first few moves like a ceremony, after all.
Valentina and Miracommon had no idea what he was telling them. Chojito is just one giant reference to previous series, isn't he? He is like literally one giant amalgamated reference to previous When They Cry. Jeez. And apparently Valentina and Miracommon don't really play chess, because they had no idea what he was telling them. Clearly, he was trying to confuse the issue. However, they still realized that Tojiro really did know everything that would happen next, and that he was diluting the information this much that he'd be able to speak of it openly.
You will know soon. You'll see that this doesn't deserve to be called a natural disaster.
Was it really all right to tell us that? Huh? Are you telling us that, thinking that telling this only to people like us won't matter anymore at this stage?
We're only pieces on the chessboard. There's a limit to what we can do. However, one thing that is clear is that we want the players who own us to win. So we can only wait vigilantly until our pieces have a chance to shine and contribute to their victory.
Will humanity be able to overcome this danger?
Have faith in humanity. It'll be okay. We'll definitely win. Though I don't know how many pieces will be lost on that path towards victory.
Wow, you wouldn't think Tojiro would be so optimistic. In the midst of Tojiro's intentionally vague way of talking, that one statement alone seemed to have a strong intent behind it.
Still, if it's for the sake of saving humanity, it doesn't matter how many people die, right?
Damn. Okay, jeez. The Central Command Center has confirmed the suppression of all non-friendly... For the moment, the use of all drones, whether armed or unarmed, has been forbidden. All squads, please visually confirm the nature of the damage. Wistet Bridge is collapsing. Eastern District. Emergency vehicles are unable to proceed. Everyone, please hold strong, without losing hope. Use your cellcom to check for safety information from your local governments, and put your own safety first. Furthermore, those of you who don't have a cellcom installed or activated, please reach out to us. Ruka, I see Tojiro as someone who's he's on the side of the Three Kings begrudgingly. It seems like. He's doing their work, but it seems like he would rather they not win. But he feels like he has to work for them. Just because his own organization got too big and they noticed him. And if he refused being like a branch of their organization, then he would have probably been killed. The government will certainly save. Oh God. The massive quantities of drones that have once patrolled the walls of peace caused unprecedented damage. Furthermore, in the middle of this global conflict,
Massive numbers of them have been mobilized, and the fact that they were heavily armed made the situation all the more fatal. Hello, James. Welcome to the stream. Of course, you didn't have to look back to classic B3W sci-fi to know that, starting very early on, humanity had imagined the possibility of losing control over their autonomous weaponry. Because of how they were built, you couldn't prevent small numbers of units from being hacked, and this was taken into account. Even human cells sometimes mutate one at a time. Just like how the surrounding cells will immediately try to eliminate a mutated cell, drone swarms were also programmed to rapidly destroy any friendly units that behaved abnormally. However, the one part that was protected by incredible security was the military AI managing all those drone swarms. And in fact, its security hadn't been broken in this instance either. The security of military AIs from every faction in every country have been circumvented directly, with proper passwords, and in fact with passwords used by people with considerable authority. Either the passwords were stolen by hackers, or the password owners had gone traitor and sold them. Either way, this might lead to a blame game for damage that was far too widespread, so none of the countries made this information public. Firefighting chemical agents need support. Confirm that there is a firestorm at the scene. The wind is spreading the fire. Urgently requesting support from Climate 8MS and Disaster Prevention 8MS. If the wind just stops for a bit and the fire weakens... Did you say to stop the fire with bombs? You fool, there's still lots of people there who need our help. There's gotta be over 100 trapped in there. The massive megacities created in the A3W era had also become areas of extremely high population densities. This made it possible for staggering casualties to occur during a disaster like this. Furthermore, everyone had always relied on 8MS to deal with disasters too, so with them airing out, the situation had become truly dire.
How many casualties have there been? Well,
Who knows? Even in just ABN France, there might be 10 million, no, 20 million dead. If that happened on a world scale, it's scary just to think about the numbers. Nearly everyone in the A3W world owned cell comms or wearable terminals. Those measured their vital signs, which made it easier to rapidly assess casualties in a situation like this. Today will probably be the single day with the greatest number of human casualties since the start of recorded history. Jesus fucking Christ.
horrible tragedies like this were supposed to have ended 100 years ago. But right now, what's happening here is the saddest. I love looking down on Paris with Naomi from the top of that.
They'll probably be able to rebuild it, but who knows whether its soul will survive.
I can't believe that they were able to destroy it that easily. A military AI really is terrifying.
Black smoke continued to gush from Paris, as if it were wrapped in the bowels of war. The Eiffel Tower, a symbol that had survived even World War III, lay pathetically on its side.
To all of the people, keep giving it your all and don't lose hope. Now is the time to show everyone the miracle of peace and harmony. We of Yaladat Shavi love all of those who've risen up to face this national crisis. Oh, god damn it, I keep forgetting. A special order of harmony is currently in effect. With regards to religion-based hate crimes, religious police are on the scene, have given the authorities to see that justice be done without the need for a trial. before they try to take advantage of this chaos. I'll support as many atheists and fundamentalist terrorists as we can. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You guys are like, oh God. Ugh. Fuck you. Actually, I just reported one myself.
Seriously? Amazing! I'll keep on reporting suspicious people when I see them to rack up some contribution points.
You guys are the worst. Good times build the faith, and bad times with that faith is a test. Now is the time to show our faith and love and peace to the world. This has been the 12th Holy Agent Corps, Yeladat Shavit. We love all of you! Oh, God. Okay, nice work. Yeah, okay, but should we be focusing on fires and people hit by the disaster before worrying about religious crimes? Yeah, I don't think the AI went rogue. It looks, from what he said, it sounded like the someone was given the passwords, and someone's just controlling them directly. Which, given to what the Three Kings can access, is probably that's probably pretty easy for them. To think that armored corps with religious fleets will be given priority over fire department vehicles. This must really be the miracle of love and harmony! Oh, God. Crap, they're saying the death count in ABN Romania is definitely over 8 million. And I can't get in touch with Mom. Seriously, everybody seems on board but those guys. Yeladat Shivi is under direct control of the government, and I just... jeez. It's becoming clear that this rogue drone accident has resulted in unprecedented casualty levels. It's expected that the number of victims will reach as high as 500 million in the ACR alone. Considering the numbers, this should delay the world famine issue.
What?
Okay, OA. See you later. Have a good time at work.
How can you say something so cold? Billions of people probably died across the world. How is this any time to be calmly saying things like that? A whole lot of my friends died too. Are you saying we should be happy because we don't have to pay to feed them now? You don't have a human heart, Mariana.
We must remain calm exactly because that is the situation, fool. The walls of peace are being shaken to their foundations. What do you think will happen if we don't maintain our composure?
Letting your emotions control you will just make you hungry. And no matter how gruesome the situation beneath us is, we have a mission to perform. A mission to chase out all VABN bases on the African continent before 24 o'clock on the 25th.
You're crazy because you're able to stay calm and the government's crazy to play musical chairs in a situation like this. Why are dimension containers packed with guided bombs and 30mm shells? That's insane! Insane!
Fool! Please don't say any more. If someone hears you say that, you'll be dismissed from duty, and our cat will be joined by someone who doesn't find it strange to have a dimension container so filled at a time like this.
I don't want to fly with someone like that. Got it? That's right. She's yelling at the unfairness of it for our sakes as well. Oh my God.
Did you hear? Going forward, the use of all drones will be suspended indefinitely.
Naturally. Same thing would happen again. Humanity really would be destroyed.
Again? I think this one time was fatal enough.
We may not be able to use drones, but that doesn't change the time and the truth, or the situations surrounding the conflicted areas.
In other words, the high and mighty humans will have to fight each other directly. After all, so far, there hasn't been a single living human around except us. Now the battlefield will probably finally become a living, breathing thing.
Man weaponry is completely useless against Gauntlet Knights. Nothing has changed. In the end, they'll just make us fight on our own. Just getting rid of those dirty long legs drones will make the sky so much nicer.
Princess, you sure you shouldn't be taking a rest? He's right. There's no way the shocks worn off yet. I too am a soldier. I'm prepared to experience death up close.
She's probably shaken from her brother's death.
And besides, even just counting our Commonwealth, over 500 million people has been hit with this disaster on this earth. So many lives have been stolen that we don't even know what the number is across the world. As one tasked from birth with the mission of defending our people's safety, I cannot spend too long lamenting the death of one brother.
What and how much did Big Brother know? Did he know about this worldwide drone stampede? Or could it be that he knew even more than that? Seeing as he was killed so brutally, he must have known something that made it worth silencing him, even through means like that. However, my doubts grow. In the first place, how would my brother, who had only an honorary position in ATMS industry, have had a chance to get involved with an international conspiracy? By nature, he couldn't stand human greed and the darker parts of their nature, so I can't even imagine him lending an ear to some terrifying conspiracy. Did he have a secret I do not know? It's true that as an international philanthropist, he was a member of several international clubs of gentlemen. Sometimes upper-class social settings can become like a cocoon, where those present act like they're the chosen ones. Some people do charitable work through their genuine feeling of goodwill, but there are also some who don't deserve to be called gentlemen, who prop themselves up by thinking of needy people as animals they're graciously supplying with food. Oh, recipe, oh, jeez. Yep, 1 hour, pretty much exactly. The second to last chapter of Ciconia. Salvador Dali, a real person here. What is important is to spread confusion, not eliminate it. Jeez. Penultimate chapter of Ciconia. Here we go.
If all sorts of countermeasures were taking place to prevent rampages like this, why wasn't it possible to prevent this drone uprising? The most likely explanation is that the worldwide super earthquake from the other day. After all, it was enough to cause significant damage to the environmental AMS. So it wouldn't be strange if it had some sort of effect on the drone's circuits. Ever since the start of the A3W era, drones have carried the main burden of maintaining a healthy military balance. Seems the main characters on the battlefield will once again be humans facing off directly, just like back in the B3W era. Which means nothing can stand in the way of the aerial augmented infantry. After all, even when you use drones that can attack without risk, you can barely achieve a draw against them by using saturation attacks. But if you're using vehicles manned by humans, which are far riskier, even fighting to a draw would be difficult. It seems that in part due to this sensational event, the Gauntlet Knights who just had their shocking debut will influence events even more strongly. Even in the B3W era, there was a time when possessions of nuclear weapons was a country's lifeline. It seems likely that going forward, the number and skill of each nation's Gauntlet Knights will have a dramatic influence on the world's power balance. It might even start to have political implications.
You're saying that it's possible that a Gauntlet Knight hero could use their overwhelming popularity to run for president?
If we take this to an extreme, if a group of aerial augmented infantry members were to launch a coup d'etat, it's extremely doubtful to whether it could be suppressed under the current circumstances. Hint, hint, Mio. Go ahead. Of course, though their weapons are powerful, they won't run forever on their own. They'd still need fuel and rations. However, as we can see from historical coup d'etat, it isn't impossible for a short-term action to overthrow a government. As technology advances and we enter an era where anyone can join the aerial augmented infantry, it will probably become a more common sort of power and settle down. However, at this moment in time, only a small number of young people with extremely rare talents are being given this role. If these people who command the walls of peace as a small group were to ever develop political ambitions, and if they tried to use their vast power to intervene politically, it might be difficult for any nation to resist. In other words, the era of the young has arrived.
We haven't seen Shashat in forever. Jeez, where has she been?
Now then, all you youngsters, you have been given power, and you have been given a chessboard on which only you have been placed. There are no longer any pieces that can get in the way. Has there ever been an era which humanity gave this much power to the young? No, there hasn't. Of course not. No one's gonna do that. Youngsters, if you do have the will, I imagine sooner is better than later. After all, we middle-aged men and women are quick to get jealous of things like that and crush them. You know, like how deer love newly sprouted plants the most and eat them all up. You've gone to all the trouble of sprouting. Why don't you give it a shot before you get eaten? After all, I always love watching young people do their best.
She's gotta be a witch of some kind. I swear. I bet those... those ears are horns! I bet she's a member of Hanyu's race.
Well, that doesn't mean I'll take responsibility for what happens next.
I have a report to make. Thanks to the devoted efforts of the Shelberic orders who have sworn loyalty to us, the operation has achieved a major success. Oh god.
I've been checking the news, but I haven't been able to get a feel for the full scope of the damage.
Regardless, the results of the operation were far from a major success. We are still a long way away from what we had planned.
Holy fucking shit. 3 billion?
The final casualty count is a minimum of 3 billion across the world. Medical services are overstretched, so it's likely to rise by another 500 million.
So this operation has managed to kill 3.5 billion people.
There had been 3.5 billion casualties. That number was so massive, it exceeded the capacity of the human imagination, and it didn't feel real at all. So since the world population was said to have reached 10 billion people, it was as though this world was an apple with one third of it sliced out. With that many lives and city functions removed from the equation, the civilizations up until the B3W era would likely have ended immediately. However, the A3W world civilization, supported by super technology, was able to continue to function even after receiving such extensive damage. Even with so many victims, those who had escaped the disaster still felt a bit as though this was somebody else's problem. Ironically, that detachment had prevented a panic and stabilized the people.
That drastic gap between affected and unaffected areas was a major cause of this attitude. Cities hit by drone attacks were in ruins, but more than twice that many cities hadn't been hit. Interesting. Furthermore, the affected zones were extremely concentrated and distributed in a lopsided fashion, so there were quite a lot of people who only knew about the drone revolt from what they saw on TV. To nearly all those people, this incident somehow seemed unreal. It might seem strange that people could feel disconnected to a tragedy where 3.5 billion people died, even if said tragedy didn't hit them directly. However, the creatures known as humans are surprisingly indifferent when it comes to the lives of other humans. It doesn't matter how many people die in a country you've never heard of before, a country that might exist anywhere on the globe for all you know. Unless someone from your country is among the victims, it's time to check the weather next. However, if your beloved dog dies, it'll probably make you sadder than the deaths of countless people you don't know. In other words, people mourn the dead because of the sadness from losing the interpersonal bonds they developed while the departed was still alive. Remove interpersonal bonds from the equation, and no matter how many people die, the human heart will remain unmoved unless it witnesses those just directly. To some people, even that might sound heartless, but one fact mustn't be forgotten. Almost 1/2 of all babies born into the world are not carried here by Ciconia. They're born in a factory, categorized by their various talents, and sent to different institutions based on that analysis. They can only make friends of the same generation, with similar talents and sensibilities to their own. The density of their interpersonal bonds with others is overwhelmingly weaker than the B3W era. To people like that, as long as their city and the people they know are safe, then no matter how many people die far away, they'll feel a pang of sadness, but only until they change the TV channel. So even with people 3.5 billion lives lost.
Simply put, that's not very many. Oh, that's sorrow, goddammit.
Simply put, that's not very many.
I truly will never get bored. Where can people go the deaths of 3.5 billion people and say that's not very many?
But it is still approximately 30% of the world's population. Of course, city operations will have suffered to a similar degree. I did want to give them a method of destruction, but sadly the elimination of humanity's remainder will have to be left to earthquakes, cold waves, and few crises.
I do hope that at least during that process we were able to locate even a few people who we find worthy to leave this all behind to.
You're right. Even if you have an arc, you won't leave anything unless you also have Noah and his wife.
I do want to believe that humans are creatures that can show us a miracle at the moment of their destruction.
It might not be so bad to use the thought of that day coming, when we can give that person their crown to spice up our journey going forward.
I do not know how many times I've lost patience with humanity. And yet, they can be so...
Is that Tojiro? No way. No way. He's a lot fatter than Tojiro. That's not Tojiro, is it? That's impossible. No, there's no way. Are these Three King pictures just... I forgot, are they actually meeting there or are they holograms? Like projected? There's no way. I'll just keep reading the story.
And yet they can be also so adorable at any single time. I find myself believing that this time they'll get it right. Indeed. Because we have because we want to protect these innocent children from the civilization's end, as gruesome as that, we must lovingly swing down our hatchet.
Don't you dare take those words in vain!
All in the name of guiding humanity down the right path.
Fuck all y'all. Seriously.
With the drone swarms gone, I guess this was inevitable.
Oh wow, that's a cool CG. That's a really cool background. Oh wow, we haven't seen Lilia in forever, it feels like.
To put out trainees who only barely learned to fly like this, it's just done, yeah. A lot of them haven't even finished adjusting their gauntlets. At this rate, even just flying will be dangerous. Chloe, you should tell these noobs not to use their dimension containers, meow. If an alley behind us suddenly self-destructs, it'll probably take out even the strongest shield with one hit, meow. You're right. Chloe agreed, Paul. Calling all units. Use of the dimension container is forbidden to everyone without combat experience. An honorable death in combat would be bad enough. But self-destructing from a container accident and dragging your comrades into it would be just too sad.
Does that mean that you're telling us not to join the fight?
You professional knights can just watch and learn. Don't get in the way of the veterans of what she's saying, meow!
These character designs look way too specific. These do not look like generic people at all, I gotta say. That almost looks like Shannon's hairstyle from Umineko. I gotta say, all these three look like actual character designs. Because their silhouettes look so unique. And not just generic trainees.
But you don't mind us using them if we feel like we're in danger, right?
Please, don't make maneuvers that will make you feel like you're in danger. Focus on your shields, not on attacking. In the end, that will do us the most good.
For Chloe, she was putting it rather coldly. Of course, that was intentional. From Grave Mole's perspective as top aces, there was no longer any reason to stand out or to be impatient for praise. Yeah, look at this. Look at these. These are look at all these. These are clearly unique ass character designs. These are people that are going to show up in future parts, aren't they? Exactly. Yeah. No, these guys are totally going to show up in future parts. Look at how unique those designs are. Hell, there's even tassels coming off of her little clothing here. They're totally going to be in future phases. Look at how ornate this gauntlet is here.
Brave Bull, we're gonna close enough to fight. Is that an order? This may be my first time in actual combat, but I've had success in the simulators.
These idiots really don't want to put their skills to the test, meow. Calling all units. You're free to be careless with your own lives, but make sure you don't forget to return those gauntlets on your left arms in one piece. There are plenty of people who can replace you. Replacing a gauntlet isn't so easy.
My god, Chloe, damn.
If you don't want to die, focus on your shields, Meow. If your shield is shattered, retreat even if you do recover afterward, Meow. Idiots who get their shields shattered once will just get them shattered again, Meow.
They're trying to save their lives by being tough on them.
If you really do run out of energy next time, you really will die, Meow. Oh, also, there's a moral code even on the battlefield. Make sure that none of you forget that. Neither we nor they will chase down anyone whose shield breaks and who leaves the front lines. Do not shoot people trying to escape. After all, the concept of allies and enemies doesn't exist for us. We're comrades, footing the walls of peace together.
We may be free to let our opponent escape, but will the enemy do the same for us?
It's an unwritten rule among those who fly. This is not an official order. These are just the words of someone who's been through this before you, talking to herself. However, I do hope that you will understand the point of this. Chloe out.
All Gauntlet Knights participating in the Order of the Public Bath were top class or near top class aces from all factions. So they were all proud, confident, and understood both the honor of serving as the Gauntlets of Walls of Peace and the concept that there were no allies or enemies among them. Mio was the one who first said it, but they all had a nobility of spirit that allowed them to understand it, accept it, and put those ideals into practice. However, now that there were no drone swarms, large numbers of inexperienced Gauntlet Knights were being thrown in to cover the massive battlefields. Some of them felt various emotions that the aces did not share. They wanted to become aces too, to leave a name for themselves, to build up a good record. Some of them viewed their opponents as not as comrades supporting the walls of peace, but merely as enemies. Surely, some of them would prefer to suck up to superior officers from the command center rather than veteran Gauntlet Knights. Have you tried to convince them to follow the Order's ideals? Don't die, don't kill, don't fight? Not only would they not accept it, but some of them might report it to their superiors.
Kuh. If people want to die, just go ahead and let them. Why don't all of you just die on your own?
Koshka, that was just me joking around a bit, trying to have tough Meow.
Shut up. You don't get to talk either. It's not like talking to me is any fun or anything.
Just exit the room, brother.
Kosh, I can't take this anymore, Meow. I don't understand either, Lilia. Who are you really?
What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean?
I'm Lilia. Lilia of Ciconia.
I hope I said that right. Oh my god.
Lilia of Ciconia, who is a trainee, thought she'd fly right past an instructor who was annoying her until a sudden gust of wind skewed up her angle as she turned 3 officers into mincemeat, who became Guroi equipment to escape the firing squad and who sold out her heart and soul.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's why she's in that program.
This is Link G from COU Vibe. Gravemore, please respond. This is Chloe from Gravemore, reading you loud and clear. Please don't be too hard on us. And in accordance with the philosophy of Mio and the order of the public bath, I hope for a good, clean fight. I understand, Ling Ji, but I have some bad news.
Oh, what a coincidence! We have some bad news on our end as well. Huh?
It looks like we're both in the same situation.
Several of the new recruits are fools trying to make a name for themselves. Some are using violent emotions to try and distract themselves from the fear of their first real combat.
This time, our allies probably include many people who are too immature to be taught the Order's philosophy.
We've told them there's no need to chase down their opponents as their shields break, and that they should make a run for it if their own shields break, but I do not know if they will keep to that. It is possible that there will be casualties on your side.
There's no helping it. Let's control the battlefield situation ourselves. In the end, we can control who wins and who loses as much as we like, based on minor changes to the behavior of our ace cat.
My. Huh? Have you always been like this, Chloe? Yeah, Chloe has gotten a lot braver. The Chloe I know is more kind and peaceful, right?
Far too much has happened. It's been enough to change anyone.
Interesting. Huh. I wonder if Chloe has an alternate personality too.
Let's just say that that's the case. Now then, please don't be too hard on us.
COU area along with the infantry squads approaching for you. The enemy is activated as Reaper's Eye. You've been targeted for you.
Oh boy. Chloe, jeez.
Neo, maybe this world really should be destroyed. But even if that's so, would you still say that the job of Guardians of the Walls of Peace is to believe in the good in people's hearts? I don't know what's right or wrong anymore!
So Jatha wants to know if it's okay to talk for you.
I don't mind. But are you sure she's got the right chat this time? This is Sujatha from Suparna of the COU. I apologize for accidentally sending you a message the other day that was meant for Ling Ji. Don't worry about it. As long as you don't actually send the message to someone when you're talking behind their back, I don't mind. So what is it? Normally, I just say this directly to Ling Ji, but I know that she respects you. So it will be faster to tell you this directly. I'm not getting you. What happened? At least in the COU, your philosophy of the Order of the Public Bath has been apparently noticed by some highly disagreeable superior officers. How was it noticed? They've been carefully analyzing Gauntlet Knight movement data, finding incidents such as attacks that could only conceivably have failed intentionally. As a result, they have started to suspect that these failed attacks were not issues with individual soldiers, but sabotage at an organized level. I assumed that the truth would get out sooner or later, but I thought we'd be able to push it off at least until the truce. So they've been carefully analyzing all the data to make sure we're doing our jobs right? If only they paid that much attention to our mental care. No kidding. Anyway, Sujatha, when we say don't die, don't kill, The dying part includes social death as well. Just play dumb with all you've got. Later on, if it becomes difficult to assist, I don't mind if you forget everything you know about the Order itself. You have a point there. After all, we're at a turning point where the world may be destroyed, and no matter who wins or who loses. It would seem foolish to say don't die, don't kill after all this time. Thanks for telling me about this. Still, why didn't you tell Lingji about it directly? She is quite fond of your order. She truly believes that if friends supporting the walls of peace all hold hands, the happiness will come to this world. I supported it on the surface, but thought it would eventually be exposed and become a problem. I told her not to get too emotionally involved, but she did not heed my warnings. I don't know if she would take me seriously if I told her myself. So, I thought she might be more likely to believe it if you told her. I see. I want you to tell Lingji about this too. Those people aren't just starting to analyze a few Ket, but movement data from all Ket deployed in this global conflict. Lingji herself might not care what kind of messages come down to her from above, but her war buddies who stand by her side would be caught up in her punishment. Tell her that yourself. Isn't that your responsibility as the one who first said these things? No, as the Grand Master of the Order of the Public Bath. Understood. I'll tell her soon. For now, you and the rest of Suparna should take care and focus on just staying safe. We'll handle ourselves fine. You're the one who should show them concern for their own safety. Our higher-ups are always bragging about how the COU is always one step ahead of the AOU. But if that's true, then it's probably safe to assume that this analysis of movement data has already begun in the AOU as well.
We think we're doing this neatly, but it's possible some of our Ket are bad at acting.
Thanks, Sujatha. We'll also make sure we worry about ourselves before worrying about other people.
Even if you can't cooperate at all after today, that's completely fine. If anything, I'm grateful that you took such great risks until now. Anyway, take care, along with the rest of Suparna. It's enough that all of you take care. We'll handle ourselves fine. Make sure you tell Lingji too. Sujatha, out! Yo. There was no way we could have played at being heroes without those sly old men noticing. I've known that for so long, and yet... Oh, God.
When you were conducting terminal guidance in all these cases, you intentionally had your FCS support switched off. Why was that? Answer me!
Oh God, poor Rookie.
Can't you hear that? The colonel is demanding an answer.
The middle-aged officer raised his palm and mercilessly slapped Rukshana's cheek. She withstood it while she was still standing at attention, but the cheek that had just been hit swelled unevenly. Sujatha, who was standing at attention in the same way, was swelling even more. Oops, sorry, doing the microphone a bit.
There's also the case of the retributive attack against that agricultural plant, where Suparna neglected to check for civilians during their assault and caused needless casualties. You claim that you fully checked for civilians, and yet once again... What are you laughing at?
Oh boy, Rookie, oh no.
Rukshana, stop!
Are we in trouble because he missed things? Are we in trouble because we hit things? Hard to tell, right? You got so little trust in us. Why don't you just break Ciconia up? Higher-ups in the CRU during Parliament work so hard to put it together, right? You might not be able to split us up even if you wanted to.
God, Rookie is such a badass.
In the end, doesn't this just mean that our maintenance is poorly performed? We are the CRU combined military with murder weapons after all. If you're not happy with the results we've achieved, I'd say that's on the combined military for slacking off on its maintenance, right?
That's enough. Just stop!
Too bad, I'm not gonna stop! If we screw up, all we ever get is punishment, only the stick! Haven't you ever heard of using the carrot? You haven't, have you? You beat up that Kozako squad from Bion Marzo Bally to serve an example. Then in battles during the festival preliminaries, they got good results, and their reputation did a 180. Oh, but I'm sure you gave them as many carrots as you gave them sticks, right? By the way, I know what they got. Nothing at all is what they got!
God, this is okay. Jesus Christ. Rukshana, if you are going to start the rebellion, I am all for it.
This middle-aged man got all snug over how they made his Kozako squad so well, and during the send-off party, the squad were just standing at attention against the wall, not even giving glasses! Well, don't! It's the military's property! What kind of idiot would actually think that hang is tools?
You watch what you say!
There was nothing wrong with the high officer's legs, but he was still pompously walked around with a fancy cane. There was a thunk, and then a small slash of blood that left marks on the white floor. Andrew!
Andrew!
My apologies, Colonel. Immediately after flying, she sometimes develops a condition where she becomes hypersensitive to cranial secretions and undergoes personality changes. We'll make sure she has it examined, so I beg your forgiveness. It's possible that this is the result of weariness from excessive time on missions, or else negative unexpected side effects on her mind and body from the powerful drugs she's been taking since she was a trainee. Naturally, for a COU soldier, such problems should be overcome through applied willpower, and she recognizes her serious failure in being unable to do that. That absolutely, Ruka, seriously. A single line of blood drips from Andrew's forehead to his cheek. Under normal circumstances, she ought to enter re-education immediately, but the truce begins at 24 o'clock tomorrow. Please let us fight until then. I'm begging you! I ship these two now. I'm shipping Andrea and Rukshana.
Calm down, Rookie. You can hate yourself as much as you want when this is over.
Wow, my God, Rookie. Damn, he has no eyes, does he?
At the moment, we have no one to replace you. If an enemy ace cat appears, then no one but Supada can stop them. Just this once, we'll overlook the rest. Dismissed!
Oh, God.
Thank you very much, Colonel. If you'll excuse us.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Yep, I ship Andrea and Ruki, yep. I'm glad you're okay with it as well, Ruka. It's all a mess now. Just one incomprehensible thing after another. The young are the main characters of their era? Like hell they are. All this time, the young people, us, have been left behind. Things keep happening that we can't do anything about. There's no way that natural disasters that might happen once per millennium would all conveniently happen at the same time. It's weird enough that a world war, only the fourth one humanity has ever had, would conveniently take place, and just so happened to coincide with a modern earthquake on a global scale, the biggest super earthquake disaster in human history. Because of that negative side effects of that, there's also global cooling, and a worldwide famine, and then comes the simultaneous global revolt of drones. What is it, a kid's meal of natural disasters? Does it come with hamburger, steak, shrimp, rice, french fries, and pudding too? Are we really going to explain away this many disasters in a row as an unfortunate coincidence? It's infuriating, but that's what people are doing. Well, of course they are. They're natural disasters. They're coincidences. No one can do anything about them. So there's no point in worrying about it. And our super civilization will take care of it all somehow anyway. So the people who survived will keep on thinking of it as someone else's problem. There's no way this is a bunch of natural disasters occurring at the same time by coincidence. Outside the chessboard where we're all lined up, some massive person has some sort of plan and is doing something. We're all totally out of the loop. You know what it's like? It's like those scenes you see in so many battle manga, where the villain says something like, "Let me show you my power," and blasts away a city. There's a bunch of mom characters that get treated like less than small fry, who die without knowing what's going on. We are those mob characters. We're just getting dragged into things without understanding them. Most likely, these natural disasters weren't even aimed at us. We're just getting pulled in and tossed about. However, no matter how long this crazy situation continues, I'll hold my breath and believe that I'll definitely get a chance to strike back eventually. I don't even know what our enemies are, who our enemies are, what it means to strike back, what kind of chance that will be, but I'm waiting with bated breath. Is that really okay? Do I think this kid's meal of natural disasters will end that easily? It won't end. You know it won't. Go ahead. Try making one of those prophecies you love so much. Yep, it's 3 Yao, here to ruin everybody's day.
Oh? You rang? Well, if you're willing to call for me, I'll appear. I'm supposed to be a murder program, right?
Oh, this is Mio.
I'm supposed to be a murder program, right? Where's my enemy? They aren't anywhere! If you think I'm a murder program, give me an enemy already!
I'm the enemy who's trying to erase the program that you are, right? Why should I help you?
Your job is to defeat me by making me aware that I'm not Mitake Mio, just a program that claims to be him, right? Then my goal and your goal are the same. If I really am a murder program like you say, give me an enemy I'm supposed to defeat. You'll make me aware that I'm a murder program, and you'll achieve your goal. I've had enough of being out of the loop, and the only one not invited to the party. No matter how powerful my gauntlet is, it's still worthless, just worthless. Forget being a murder program. I'm not even a game piece. I'm just a mob character designed to die. The young are the main characters of their era, right? How is that exactly? We can't do anything at all! We're just always caught up in whatever it is those filthy adults want.
I get that the world has been hit with crisis after crisis, and you feel like you want to scream. But are you telling me that you called me here just so I could listen to you vent? I never expected to be used in such a fashion. But, well, if we can't communicate, I won't be able to attack. Well, okay.
Come on, let's have a prophecy. Earlier. You made a prophecy that I'd kill Lingji and Koshka by my own hands. So please give me some more prophecies like that. Prophecies aren't like forecasts and predictions, right? They're about things that have already been decided, right? Then tell me, try saying it! More crazy things are happening after this, right?
I get the feeling that you're baiting me, but sure.
Fine, whatever. After all, the fact that you called for me basically means that you've accepted my existence.
Umineko reference?
I'll prophesize without being annoying about it. I'll tell you what's gonna happen next. As you've imagined, this kid's deal of tragedies won't end with this. Not as long as you exist. What? Are you saying that it's me? Me personally is causing all this? You mean that I'm not just a murder program, but a global destruction program to boot? That's so over the top, it's hilarious.
My throat is getting ripped up to shreds. Oh god.
The process of this world's destruction is proceeding smoothly, but it isn't perfect yet. So naturally, it will continue for some time. And the next time, humanity's weaponry will once again become uncontrollable and attack. After this latest incident, wasn't the functioning of all drones stopped? All the ones on the ground, yes. They still remain in the skies.
Oh my god, that's new. That's a new transition. Holy shit. Outer space?
The skies known as outer space at least. As you know, the weapons of mass destruction that most mark both the start and the end of World War III were all disposed of. That included satellites that could attack the ground from space. Still, whether it was an oversight or intentional, this didn't include 4D printer satellites. That was because these satellites would become docks for building future space stations, and were thought to hold a vital role in space development. However, the space race gradually faded away. This was because all factions had agreed to the destruction of all WMDs. After that, the idea of maintaining a healthy military balance spread, and the practice of filling contested regions with swarms of drones became standard, so interest in costly space wars decreased. Starting today, well, actually the uproar from when they found out they'd lost control has already happened. Space centers for all factions freaked out, and should already have reached the ears of the people at the top. Ever since 3 days ago, the 540 printer satellites owned by all the factions on this planet began ignoring orders from the ground and started constructing mysterious objects. What materials were used is unknown. They're shaped like cylinders 25 meters long and 60 centimeters in diameter, with 4 sets of protuberances shaped like folded wings. In other words, they look sort of like massive pillars, with 8 wings growing out of them like a totem pole. Incomprehensible patterns were carved into their surfaces.
Oh my god. Incomprehensible patterns. Are these magic weapons?
Of course, the humans on the ground weren't able to give a good name to this incomprehensible shape, so they're just calling them objects now. Well, it isn't a shape humanity's used to seeing, so they probably didn't have a choice. Strictly speaking, they're calling it this.
1994, March 5th, 1994. What happened on that day? That's a very recent date. What happened on March 5th, 1994? Or May 3rd. I don't know what date system they're using. Because that really gave us a big clue with the disappearance of the Mary Celeste. Does anyone know what happened on this day? Because these SCP numbers that we've been getting here have all corresponded to different dates of certain things. I'm going to be fucking, like, jumping through the sky if we get, like, October 4th, 1986 as a date for one of these things. If one of those things, if October 4th or 5th, 1986 comes up as one of these numbers, I am going to go fucking nuts. Seriously. Furthermore, 2 minutes ago, the object separated from the 5 satellites. Oh boy. The pull of gravity draws them closer and closer to the Earth's surface. They're expected to burn up in the atmosphere. But then again, no one knows what materials they're made out of. It's unclear what will happen. Additionally, Earth is a big place and each will just fall down on a single point. If they land on cities, the possibility of them causing major damage will be greater than 0. But this is immediately following the drone panic after all. After the deaths of 3.5 billion people, it doesn't seem like such a big deal.
After calculating their trajectories, it will be discovered that fortunately these 5 objects will all land in oceans or up in the mountains. Well, there'll probably be a sigh of relief, but the fun is just about to start.
When the objects reach the surface, they'll hit the ocean in a far less of an effect than was anticipated. Then they'll continue to disappear towards the ocean floor. However, changes will happen quickly after that. Oh, it's going to affect the 8MS. The 8MS managing the seawater's environment will start to be fatally affected.
1 hour after they hit, the 8MS in charge of purification and oxygen supply will start emitting warning signals. An hour after that, these will change into danger alerts, and the endangered ocean region will expand rapidly. Humanity lives on the land, but when viewed from space, the Earth really is a planet of water. It's fair to say that nearly all the world's environments are supported by the sea. When it comes to oxygen, 2/3 of that comes from the sea. And those oceans will be killed. The reason humanity was able to hang in there even after the environmental 8MS in the atmosphere became useless was because the environmental 8MS in the oceans was still working fine. In other words, it was like a wounded person leaning on a crutch. That alone would have been a fatal wound, but the kids' meal will continue. Around the objects that fell on land, rather than in the water, major alerts will start being sent from nearby water intake facilities. Water purification 8MS will error out. It starts sending severe alert notifications. In the end, this will affect not only rivers and lakes, but water comes from wells and faucets as well. Water purification 8MS that's running wild will contaminate the drinking water. In other words, the food crisis will be followed by a water crisis. There may be many ways to purify water, but you can't remove the 8MS. After all, the 8MS are the 8 million gods. You can't get rid of the gods.
How is this supposed to be fun? How could anyone enjoy making people suffer with this sort of slow torture? Oh, that was Mio. The real Mio.
There's no need to be impatient. The kid's meal is finally about to reach its main dish. By now, this isn't a kid's meal, but a full-course meal.
The main dish?
It won't be an uneven attack, like the one from the sky or the seas or from drones. This time,
It will truly be an impartial attack that affects all of humanity. A medical AMS with extremely dangerous side effects for humanity will trigger a biohazard event. Oh, but I guess even that one counts as a slow torture. After all, it isn't as though this attack will destroy humanity. This medical AMS would surely have bestowed a wonderful effect on humanity if it had been completed.
Oh my god, is this what they were talking about? Like the quote unquote immortality AMS that the guy in Vier lab was working on?
However, it was still incomplete and unadjusted. The side effects were too strong, rendering it completely useless.
I think it is.
This harmful AMS would infect all of humanity and cause incredible chaos. Don't worry,
It is!
it's not like it kills people. It's just that its great effect,
Oh no, it's not. Oh my god, this is even worse.
is to lower a person's intelligence and reason, I guess you could say.
It's a freaking zombie virus.
After all, humans are emotional creatures. Even the biggest geniuses sometimes can't make use of their intellect because some emotion or their current environment. No matter how peaceful people may be, they lose their ability to reason.
Oh god.
Humanity has already been supporting war around the world so irresponsibly, haven't they? If even their intelligence and reason were taken away, it's easy to imagine what would happen next, right?
That's insane. Are you people trying to make everyone kill each other and bring about their own extinction?
It's not what I want. I want the opposite. This kid's meal is here because you placed an order for it. The program that you are did it. My greatest mission was to be able to get rid of you before the next kid's meal arrived. But sadly, I wasn't able to stop it. However, your program still remains. I need to at least stop that, you see. I have to keep fighting you without losing hope.
If I try to get along with all the other Gauntlet Knights, you'll just laugh and say it's useless. If crazy stuff keeps happening to the world, then you'll say it was my fault. Don't screw with me! Are you trying to say I'm the cause of all this? That I'm starting wars, starting earthquakes, and causing all these other disasters? What am I, a god of pestilence? An evil demon lord trying to destroy the world?
That's right. That's why I have to destroy you.
I haven't done anything like that, and I don't intend to!
If Ebola viruses had emotions, do you think they'd feel a murderous intent toward humans? They wouldn't. They're just doing what they're meant to do. The universe that's a human body around them just ends up spurting blood on its own and dies. You're the same. You just continue quietly doing what you're meant to do. But in the end, because you exist, rather because of the cog that you are.
Oh, sorry.
The clock measuring the time until Earth's destruction will continue to tick-tock, tick-tock.
So, what if I wasn't here? If I just disappeared? Would the world be at peace? Would this weird, insane thing stop happening?
That's right.
You answer that right away? I don't understand! I don't believe you!
Yeah, I imagine that's true. So I think I'll wait until you do believe, and erase the program that you are by your own will. Naturally, your program will continue to run.
I wonder if Mio has a special AMS inside his body.
Even after this kid's meal, it will continue quietly and calmly. Remember what I told you at the start? about the tragedy you couldn't accept when you killed Ling Ji and the others. The rails leading toward that tragedy have already been firmly laid. The brakes have been left in your hands. Just wish to be erased, and you can stop this tragedy. So I've made up my mind. I'll offer you my assistance. I'll continue to tell you about the horrible tragedies that await you. When I do, you should question yourself about whether it's you or me who's right.
If it's true.
Huh?
If it becomes clear that I was created for an evil purpose, and that I'm trying to destroy the world regardless of what I believe to be my own will, I will disappear. I can definitely promise you that.
Very nice. How gallant. Our relationship might be a limited one, but I think we'll be able to get along.
What's that sound?
It's those damn noisy frogs. Oh, would you mind not telling the frogs about me?
I'm under no obligation to do that.
If you tell, I might not visit you again. In other words, you no longer have any way to know beforehand about the tragedies you're about to cause. You don't want that, do you? You don't want to regret the fact that you murdered your closest friends with your own hands after failing to be forewarned about it, right? I get that you might find me unpleasant, but at the same time, I'm the only choice being given to the cog that you are. If I go away, you'll lose even the option to resist the cog that you are.
Go on. Get out of here.
Thanks, Mio.
Unapproved program detected. Unapproved program detected. Is it there? No. Smoke it out. Hey, Mio. Did an unapproved program just come here, Pollo?
No. I haven't seen one.
That's so weird, Pollo. Says you're on this area more, Pollo. What a crazy program. If I catch it, I'll kill her with kill her, Pollo.
Hey. Wait.
What, Pollo?
What am I?
Chapter's almost over. Oh wow, Kidopoyo isn't answering.
Hey. Am I really Mitake Mio? Could I be just a program that's being made to think it's Mitake Mio? What?
It's alright. Go to sleep, kiddo. You don't need to wake up yet. Not yet. So slowly, fall asleep.
Damn! Was I right in my joke guess that Kiddo Poyo is going to be the final boss of Ciconia? Holy fucking shit! Oh my god! People love mystery, and that is why they love my paintings. Salvador Dali. Oh my god! Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Well, here we are, December 25th. It's the start of the final chapter of Phase 1 of Ciconia When They Cry. To you, the replaceable ones. Why do I have a feeling that that phrase, to you, the replaceable ones, is going to be found in like a message bottle or something, or some kind of message going out into space or something like that, or to the future at the end of this phase. One final chapter left. I've heard it's twice as long as a normal chapter, and we are going to do it in 4 days. I'm hyped. I don't know about you guys. I am hyped for this. Holy shit. Evil Carapoyo. I am wondering. We're going to receive some kind of huge mindfuck at the end of this. I just know it. Oh my god. Wow. I can't believe I was... There was a joke that had like... It's like, oh, Carapoyo is going to be the final boss of Ciconia. It's like, now it's not a joke anymore. Oh my god. Okay, it's a distinct possibility. Oh my god. Okay. Wow. 2 Ciconia streams left. 1 for the main story. And this is probably going to be the last save file that we have here. That'll be used. So for phase 1, I used 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 save files. And overall, there is 9 times 5, 45 save files. 13 times 4, that'll be 42. So I think if they all are this long, and if they use the same save group files, I think I might be able to squeeze all 4 phases into all 5 pages without having to overlap a save. I think I should, because I'm not going to need another save file. Here we go, you guys. It's unlike Umineko, which I've had to overwrite old saves. If phase 2 and beyond of Ciconia uses the same save files, who knows? Well, you guys, in 2 days, Umineko. 4 days, we conclude the main story of Ciconia, phase 1, to the replaceable ones. Until then, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You are the sweetest of hearts. See ya.